Hey guys, what's up? Game Pizza Boy here, host of the Pizza Party. Hope you're all having a great day. And in today's video, we're back again because we got some big news for Dead by Daylight, as I want to kind of go over and kind of get my thoughts on it and get some discussions because we got a lot of stuff. Because they, of course, announced the developer update right now for February of 2023 to kind of get a couple things going on, which includes some cool visual updates to the Red Forest and plans on for the other future maps down the line, some possible prevention of map repeats, bot loadouts and improvements, some small perk changes that are happening before the mid-chapter update happens for the future of changing any updates and perks and stuff like that, some new outfit plans, a little small discussion on the update on cheating, and even also better, a trailer for chapter 27. Let's get right into it, shall we? But before we begin, of course, however, though, if you do enjoy your time here at the Pizza Party and want to show some big support around here, make sure you definitely subscribe and make sure you like the video if you find this helpful, and comment below and tell me what are your thoughts so far on the cool chapter 27 reveal full trailer that's announced and what we got plans for the future, as well as also all the other related stuff for the development of February 2023. Let me know in the comment section below and let me know how you feel. As always, also make sure you also go to my multi-link down below if you want to go take a look at all my socials. I'm going to keep in touch with everything, like my Discord, my Twitter, and even also my Twitch when I go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at the Pizza Party. Just go to twitch.tv/gamingpizzaboy. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it and start discussing some pretty cool things right now. First of all, moving on first, what we discussed right now, of course, right here is the develop update, which we're going to get into right now, first of all. And they got a lot of stuff to talk about for February of 2023. So let's get right into it. As we read into this right now, it states as follows. It's about time for another developer update, the series of posts where we discuss upcoming changes making their way to Dead by Daylight. This time, we'll go through some of notable changes happening in the next update, and alongside with a brand new chapter and beyond, and which will also begin to the special little teaser reveal trailer in just a moment. First, obviously, is the Red Forest update they announced, which is basically a visual update specifically because they've been doing this lately for a couple maps, including, like, for instance, Haddonfield, which got a really good rework, and now Red Forest is getting into the mix of that. They state over the past few years, various realms have gradually received facelifts. This process, which we named the Realm Beyond, has us revisit old maps and bring their visuals up to modern standards. We already updated the majority of maps, and today we turn our focus to the classic Red Forest, home to both the Huntress and the Plague. The Red Forest debuted nearly 6 years ago. This visual update maintains the iconic rainy climate of the original maps, as well as the small details and nodes to their respective pillars' lore. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, so rather than having you read 1,000 words, take up a little look at these previews. And as we look at the previews of what we see teasers right now for what the Red Forest for both the map for the Huntress and the Plague are gonna be like, I can tell you for sure I am quite amazed by this. Like, I mean, look at this. There's the cabin area right here. I love the lighting to the details, the nice little brick wall, more wooden area textures, along with the nice table design, everything like that, the wood and everything like that. There's the painting right there up top, and the fireplace looks really amazing. The inside of the nice, cool little ritual mausoleum-like area right here, which looks really detailed with all the candles and all that stuff lit up to show some visual. Here's another look at some in that same area with the nice little kind of brick stone pathway that you usually take to where one of the gens are. And there's a chest right there. They really got some moss in some of these locations. Looks really clean. Very clean as well. And also the nice little cool area of the nice little doorway right here. As you can see, they detailed it. As you can see, now it looks very much distinct compared to the other ones right there, as it has this nice cool brick-like wood kind of building up top, this old place with the wooden door with still a gate exit switch right there, and some more wood like up top right here a little bit, and it's open up. There's no roof. It's cracked up pretty much. It looks really nice. I have to say, though, I'm pretty excited about this a little bit because, after all, the nice rework visual update helps now flesh out these maps, make them more beautiful than ever. So I do like where they're going for this. Hopefully we'll see what is expected down the line very soon as we get closer and closer to when they get fully interpreted into the game, obviously integrated, and maybe we'll see how it goes for other maps. Maybe we'll see more future reworks of some visual maps. Let me know what you guys think for other maps you want to see visually be updated, definitely for sure. Besides that, we also got now the map repeat prevention, which obviously is to help prevent the map that you usually play already once or twice already earlier. You won't get just hitting it like a third or fourth time or so. and they help to hear you about fixing that issue so you don't get the same map all the time. They state as follows. Speaking of maps, many of you can probably single out a favorite, a map that you're always excited to see. But with so many maps to choose from, you probably don't want to play the same map several times in a row, even if it happens to be your favorite. I can agree with that because I have a few maps I like, and even though as much as I love them, it get pretty tedious just getting the same map over and over and over again. That wouldn't be fun. Not fun at all. Variety is a spice of life, and variety in Dead by Daylight is no exception. No longer will you need to resort to map offerings in a plea to the entity and stop sending you to Fracture Crouch Shed. Map key prevention is here now to help you out. So basically, this will help you out and making sure that you don't just get the same map over again. As they mentioned, their example to stop sending you to the Fracture or Cow Shed map repeat all the time right there. This new feature eliminates the possibility of playing the same map twice, so long as a map offering is not used. The same goes for any other players in your trial. If each person played a different map in their last match, none of the maps will be chosen. Furthermore, the chance of these maps to be chosen will also be reduced for the next few matches, steadily returning to their usual odds. We hope you enjoy seeing a wide variety of maps as you play. So basically right here, they're saying now they're making it easier now where it will make it pretty the possible chance of getting the same map. Like if you already played like West Wing RPD many more times or more than once, you will at least it will help make it easy to make that. It will make it twice as long for you to at least get it again, so you don't have to worry about getting it again the next row afterwards, unless of course someone gets in map offerings. So map offerings will still be in effect right there, which to me, I really hope for the best that with this happening, maybe they'll think about maybe getting rid of offerings, because I feel like the idea of kind of like using offerings to like choose a map is kind of a little ridiculous to me, in my opinion, honestly, especially with this happening. I still think there shouldn't be any map offerings. I mean, it just increases the chance. And I know how much if people use map offerings like hell, they'll try to like take advantage of it, and we need to get to a certain map they prefer. So I think maybe just having that eliminate off, then hopefully someday will be a good idea, at least in my opinion. But so far, by the look of it, we'll see how this goes. So again, if you play already like RPD West Wing once and you don't want to get it again, you end up getting already too many times. At least now it will start making it twice as long as the map offering is not used. The same goes for any other players in your trial course as well. So that means each time a person plays a different map in their last match, none of those maps will be chosen. So if you played RPD West Wing, that person played the Gideon's Meat Plan, that other person played Area Crows, and the other one played Midwich, you will not get any of those maps at all, unless of course, as they state, they get and use a map offering. So gotta be ready for that. Furthermore, also the chance of these maps to be chosen will also be reduced for the next few matches as well, so they return to their usual odds. So there will be, as you do so, will reduce the chance from getting again, so you can at least not get the same map again, and hopefully be able to get something different, at least for a little bit of variety. So we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully this will make it a little more easier for everyone to enjoy every map they can possibly play without getting the same map over and over again, and it will probably make it a little bit difficult for that map to be chosen. So we'll see what happens right there, but definitely I think this could be a good thing right here. This could probably be a good one. Moving on next now, and this is something I'm actually quite a little bit excited for right now a little bit, is also the bot loadouts and improvements. So as of since the update for the Forged in Fog chapter that introduced the Night Vittorio, they finally started adding bots for survivors that you can now use when playing custom games. So if you want to add a little more teammates to it, or play on your own to test a killer, and we know they are working on to add killer bots soon, so that we can enjoy that for testing if you want to play around with just survivor in your perks. But for now, you can only play killer on your own if you're doing like full-on bots for survivor. But it's a pretty cool thing right now they're doing this right now, because there's been a lot, even though for it being a new thing that's really great, there is still a lot of kinks that need to be worked out when it comes to the bots, as I'll say, because they're definitely not as fantastic during the launch of Forged in Fog. There's been some moments where I was testing out, they were acting pretty funny, or just making things a little bit weird in some situations and not making it really an intense fight at all, like any typical DBD match. So made testing a little more iffy in that kind of way. But now with the situation now, they actually announced a couple cool improvements I want to go through, because I'm actually pretty excited by some of this stuff right here. So let's kind of read this right now. We recently introduced survivor bots to custom matches, allowing you and your friends to fill the remaining spots with robot allies. or just to simply try a new killer against an entire lobby of bots. That's something we're all going to pretty much do a lot when a new killer comes out, especially the new one in Chapter 27. We were thrilled to see such an enthusiastic response to the feature from the community. Since then, we've been working hard on improvements to the survivor bots and their AI, and as such, you'll notice a few changes in the next update. First, we've added the ability to customize a survivor bot's loadout. You now have the ability, once you have added a bot to the lobby, simply just click their name, and you'll find a new edit button. Here you can customize the bot's perks, items, which might also include add-ons too, I believe, as well, offerings, and even which survivor you would like them to be. We've also taught the bots to use most, but not all, of the perks. So go wild and test out various combinations. I'm excited when they said this, at least. I'm pretty happy by this one, because the fact that we didn't really have much variety in the first of this when it came out didn't felt right to me. I just felt a little bit iffy on that, about the fact that you couldn't really choose your perks or any items or offerings to that. It made things a little more iffy in that situation, and without any variety put into, and especially you couldn't even choose like what survivors you want to use, especially too. It was like usually random once you select the add bot option. So now you can choose whoever you want if you want to make some certain cool combinations. Now you can now give them certain items and offerings and perks and see what happens with certain combinations. And since they are now making it also hopefully teaching the bots to use most but not all of their perks, that will make it really fun for combinations, especially trying to figure out how it goes in certain gameplay. So that's pretty nice right there. Second, we have made a large number of improvements to the survivor AI. Some of these improvements are smaller than others, but here are some just the most noteworthy tweaks. So here's some of the tweaks they added to help improve the AI for the survivor. First, they improve navigation in some areas, preventing bots from getting stuck in some places or attempting to loop something they shouldn't. I'm glad they're doing this, because I did notice some moments where they would loop a certain location. Like if I was testing out the new map before with the night, and there was some moments where there was like obviously those corners where it just has like just two walls separate and the window in the middle right there. You can just keep going in and out, stuff like that. The fact that they would always constantly loop that and never leave the area, especially even after you hit them, it was just so awkward, especially for chases. So this will hopefully make it where they would just know that in certain places they should just not loop the area and just get out of there after you hit them or scare them off, or maybe they'll decide just not go in that direction. So better improvement right there. Bots are now more bold when it comes to unhooking their fellow survivors, though they prefer to go for the save when it's safe. They will now attempt an unsafe rescue as the last resort. So now they'll be a little more better now at unhooking other survivors, even if it's an AI right there, especially now or not, because now even when it's mostly safe, because I've seen that a lot whenever you like hook a survivor and they try to go after you, if they sense you with your terror radius, because they usually pick up terror radius more, if they know you're coming that way, they usually just leave and just run off, and it really costs the survivor pretty easy to die. So with this will make it a little more now at a point where they'll now start being risky, and whenever it's a point where they're like close to dying or something like that, they'll go for it, just go save them. So that will hopefully make it a little more easily as last resort when they know one of their teammates is about to die, and they won't chicken out. That's pretty cool. Bots will now actively attempt to seek out totems when using totem hunting perks such as small game and counterforce. I like that. That's cool. So that's another encouragement of using their perks right there. I can see. So especially for totems. So if they have counterforce or small game, they will now actually attempt to seek out totems just as much. And that could be really good to see if you want to test their skills out when dealing with people who hunt down hexes, if you're trying to use like a hex build. So hey, that would be pretty cool to see the practice where it goes. I actually like that. It's pretty cool right there. Bots will now react to some audio cues, such as the Wraith spell. Previously, they would only respond to the terror radius. Yes, they usually typically before respond to the terror radius. They would usually respond to that. If you get any closer and they hear it, they usually just immediately run off. Even if they fail skill check on something or they're healing someone, they usually just run off. Even when you're like near the hook survivor and they're getting close to it, you get nearby, they'll just chicken out. So this will now make it where they'll react to it even when it's other related sounds. So if you're like someone you teleport like Pinhead, or teleport with Wraith spell, make an audio cue, or basically teleport from, I guess, like the hags, a little freak out right there, or they'll freak out in many ways, and we'll kind of obviously get them moving obviously and react to it as such. So this will be pretty cool to see where it plays out very much when going against the AI survivors. Now bots have learned to better respond to certain killer powers as well. For example, they will now crouch near the hag's traps and disarm bear traps from the trapper. So now they'll actually react to it as such. So if there's a certain power you're about to use, they'll be ready for it and know when it's a good time right there. I want to see how that plays out right there, because I don't know how it will be with traps, but I'll be interested to see what happens. I'll be interested to see like exactly where it plays out. If they'll start doing really good at knowing certain traps or powers, and they'll be able to react to it as such, like it's like typical normal players that you and I do. If it's like a Nemesis using his power, or Wesker, or Trapper, or Hag, or Pig, you know, anything like that basically. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm pretty excited about that one. And finally, bots will now attempt to break line of sight in a loop while ranged killers aiming at them. Okay, so now they will actually attempt to break line of sight during loops whenever dealing with a ranged killer. So like Death Slinger, that is pretty cool. I like that detail. I want to see how that plays out right there. Finally, they do mention there is many more to come. So these will be probably the only current stuff we'll be getting from now, and during the time they'll probably start improving and adding more to the AI survivor, as well as probably preparing for that AI killer they're probably going to do down the line as well. Bots are by no means meant to replace a real person, but we hope these improvements will make them a slightly more realistic practice buddy. I'm glad they're doing this. Hands down, really happy by they're doing this right now, because now it will make practice more easily and more fun. So you can go in there and test your perks or your killer and just enjoy the variety of what combinations you could do. Or if you just want to just play offline and just kind of get a little practice before you get right into the action to some online gameplay and get yourself, get your skills improved and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool right there. I do like that they're adding this. So, well, with this update coming, get yourself practicing, guys. You got some new cool stuff for the AI bots in Survivor. But hopefully we'll hear more about that AI killer stuff, because they said they are going to do that soon. They just want to probably, I guess, test out this, and they're probably still working on the idea of killer AI, since usually we don't really see a lot of killer AI stuff, except if you did Trapper during the tutorial, and even then that's only one killer, and each killer is unique and different in their own power, so they will have to find a way to work that out for each different killer possible. So we'll see how that plays out, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to that indeed. Moving on next now is actually some perk changes. So funny enough, they're actually changing some perks for this next little update right now for February, before even the mid-chapter update even happens, which is usually when they'll probably do that. So in case you guys don't know, last year we actually did, there was like a mid-chapter update that released some changes to some perks, and there was a lot of buffs, nerfs, reworks to some perks, a lot, which really changed up a lot of the meta in many different ways. And we will be expecting another one later within of course within a future mid-chapter updates very soon, obviously within the year. But right now it looks like they want to now do is get a few perks in mind, or I think 2 in mind specifically, to kind of get a little workout right there for sure. So these are 2 ones, especially one in particular that a lot of people have been complaining about a lot as of late right now, which I can kind of agree, and we'll be going through that right now. So first up right now is what they explain, what they say is that although we typically say perk changes for our mid-chapter updates, we have a little room in this chapter to squeeze in a few perk tweaks, 2 in particular. We are in the midst of planning another package of perk changes for the next major update. So the next major update soon for another mid-chapter update or so, we will be expecting to see all big perk changes, some new, some old, so be ready for that. But these are the 2 big ones on right here. First one I'll mention right now, here it is right here, you guys probably expect it to be, and that is Eruption. Yep, Eruption has been a top topic as of late, and for good reason. This perk was updated in our meta shakeup last year and has steadily grown in usage ever since. These days, it has solidified its spot in the new meta. Many of you have raised concerns surrounding how the perk disproportionately affects solo players. Since solo players cannot warn their teammates when they are about to go down, their teammates cannot stop working on the generator to avoid incapacitated stats effects. So basically, during the rework, they made it where whenever a gen is damaged or regressed, it will leave it, the perk will activate, and next time the killer downs a survivor, that gen will explode. It will cause a certain amount of progression, basically to be regress. Basically, I think about like 10%, I think it was, as it will say, I think during the nerf right here, but I think it was 10%, I believe. But the main issue, what it was, is that it would also cause the incapacity status effect if anyone's working on it for a very high amount of time. And basically, the incapacity status effect, what it did was that anytime at all you were working on, every time you have this like negative status effect happen to you, you are not able to do anything. You cannot work on a gen, you can't heal, you can't do any of that while it's still activated. It basically leaves you incapacitated. So you're basically stuck to literally not at all doing anything until the time runs out. And it was a high time, like high. So this situation they're about to nerf for a reason to help prevent that, especially with the incapacitated status effect. This made Eruption very powerful. Not only would it immediately lose 10% of its progress, thank you, but it would continue to regress until the incapacitated status effect wore off. So you can see why it was so annoying for a lot of survivors, and it was overly used by a lot of killers, especially when running gen-related regression builds. This made Eruption a very clear choice of any loadout, and not only regressing generators, but also preventing further repairs from being done. To bring Eruption more in line with other generated perks, we have made a few changes, and these are what the changes will be. First, Eruption will now cause the generator to lose 10% of its current progress, not total. So the current progress that you'll be, so instead of just losing the total progress of it by 10%, it will just lose current progress. So anything that's basically been running on it, basically, any progression you've gotten so far from that progression will just go away right there that you already earned when working on the gen in the first place. But not the total though. You'll just lose what you currently have run already throughout running that gen, basically. This means that the effect will now be less severe on generators with less progress, but more impactful on generators that are nearly completed, especially when they're working on the gen. So there's that effect right there. Secondly, Eruption will no longer apply the incapacitated effect to survivors who were repairing the generator when it exploded. Instead, survivors will just who actually work on the generator will just simply scream and reveal their ore for 10 seconds. Not only this will make this perk less frustrating for solo players, but it will give the killer crucial information on the survivors' whereabouts so they can attempt to interrupt them. We hope you find this new version of Eruption to be more incomparable to other generator-related perks. This, I think, is not bad, at least still, as it hopefully makes a little bit more benefit still to the killer, because I still think having the ability to let them scream, reveal their aura for a good amount of time, especially if you combine this lethal pursuit, would probably increase the time as well a bit more, or a little bit, for I think 2 or 3 seconds at least. It'll be 12, 13 seconds. And not only that, though, the fact that it will just simply regress the current progress, not total, doesn't make it that frustrating for survivors as well, because there's plenty of them that already regress the total progress of it in general anyway. So this will hopefully make it a little bit more easier for survivors to play the game very easily and not have to get frustrated dealing with something like that happening. But killers still get a benefit from that. So again, now it will become 10% of its current progress, not total, when it explodes and starts regressing, and you will only just simply scream and just reveal your ore to the killer for 10 seconds. So hopefully this will be a little bit more better in some ways. I know there's some people who are probably questioning the idea about this, but I still think this is quite balanced a little bit in my opinion, because even I've used this and I've seen this situation happen where pretty much even when I got affected by it, I couldn't do anything and the aggression was still going. So this will hopefully make it a little more fair enough so that the progress can still keep on going at least, but nothing can interfere with that chance for the killer just to simply know where you are and just hurry along and go get you, and then keep you from getting any more progression, and maybe use someone else combined with that, obviously using pain resonance from earlier after hooking them, or literally using Pop Goes the Weasel, anything like that, pretty much. Just anything with generator perks, or even using Brittle Strength to quickly regress the generator as quick as you can. So some pretty big stuff right there. Any Means Necessary is also the final perk right here that's getting changed. Any Means Necessary, which is actually a very interesting perk that I thought would not get changed right now, but I can see what they're trying to go for. So if you don't know what Any Means Necessary does, it was one of, I believe it was, I think it was Yui's perks, I believe, if I remember. And basically what the perk did was that anytime you were nearby a pallet, you can actually pick it up and put it back in place, and it would have a lengthy cooldown. This perk makes it possible for survivor to pick up a drop pallet, allowing it to be used again later in the match. Back when this perk launched, many people, us included, were worried about it maybe a little bit too powerful, so it had a very, very long cooldown. Over time, it became very clear that the biggest obstacle that using this perk was not in fact the cooldown, but rather finding a pallet that had not yet been destroyed. Since the perk requires a fairly lengthy interaction and can be interrupted by the killer, Any Means Necessary, it cannot be used aggressively. To give this perk a slight boost, they have removed the cooldown entirely, and survivors running this perk can now reset a drop yet unbroken pallet whenever they have the chance, and killers will want to keep an eye out for pallets mysteriously resetting and be extra vigilant when it comes to breaking them. So this is definitely pretty cool, at least in the way. I mean, it's not, I would say it's pretty too exciting too much, but hey, this will make Now Any Means Necessary a nice usable perk in some way, so you can use that. I still think it might not be as terrific as much, because obviously the fact that, I mean, it's only used for just picking up pallets, And most of the time, though, most people will just end up just throwing the pallet down and then just let the killer break it, unless they decide not to do it. But then that case happens, and you could use enemies necessary to help out a little bit. But enemies necessary, I don't really still think that's going to be quite useful, despite the fact there's no cooldown, which is nice and all, because obviously I would say that's pretty fair in this way. But I still think like not people are going to use it much, because eventually many killers will eventually just break the pallets anyway. So I don't think this is going to be really much of a big change for this perk as much, except at least now with no cooldown, you can just use it as much as you like. But we'll see how it plays out. But for now, I think this is great. And they finally stated that while chapter releases like this one tend to not come off with many balance changes, you can expect larger package of perk changes in the following mid-chapter. So this is all we're getting right now, but we can expect to see more big ones in the near future. So hopefully we'll see more ideas on what perk could be changed down the line. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, which perks you want buffs, changes, or reworks. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But one thing for certain is, though, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, hopefully, what these perks change out pretty well, especially for Eruption. As for enemies necessary, I might play around with that a bit, but it's probably not going to be something I would say I would use seriously too often. But hey, if any of you guys want to start resetting pallets and use them again for the kill and chases, better do so. And for all the killers out there, keep your eyes peeled. Like they say, you never know if a certain pallet you've seen once got pulled down, you didn't destroy, might have reset it. So keep your eyes peeled. Now moving on to some pretty exciting stuff right here that is going to be cool for all you guys who like some nice cool skins for your favorite survivors and killers, especially survivors right now. And that is, they mentioned some new outfit plans. They mentioned that in recent weeks, they have noted a passionate conversation amongst the community in regard to who in the game and is not getting cosmetics. Over the years, the roster has grown to an astonishing count of 64. Goddamn, that's a lot right there. With such a wide variety, producing new outfits for each of them has become a tall task. Each new cosmetic takes a good amount of time and careful planning to bring to life, and there's only so much time in between updates. We have to be very conscious about the outfits we release, balancing both character and style variety, but also content which we know players will love. This can result in some characters receiving a new outfit less frequently than we or you would like. We try our best to include a vast variety of survivors and killers, so everyone can find one that resonates with them, and it could be upsetting when it feels like that character was forgotten. That feeling is mutual, and we love everyone who has been brought into the fog and won the best for each of them. But it's good news on this front, which we wanted to share today. We have recently expanded our production capacity to increase the numbers of cosmetics that we can produce for each update, and you should start seeing the results over the coming months. With this, we hope to increase both the quantity and variety of outfits we release without sacrificing quality. To illustrate with an example, here's a look at how we're planning content around one beloved survivor, Hattie Carr, in the upcoming release. And they showed this nice screenshot right here, as you can see, which is pretty cool right here. I do have to say, looks really nice with some of these skins. You can see a lot of them, like this cool, nice little skin of showing her with some nice purple short jeans, it looks like, and a blue, nice, cool shirt right there, or jacket. There's another variation of that similarity with like opposite colors, with blue short jeans and some red jacket. There's one that has her with this nice cool little hoodie. So there's also one that shows even her one during that special masquerade event as well too, which is pretty neat in that kind of sketch. So there might be some updates to that too as well, and probably be availability for that one as well. While the example above will not always be possible across all killers and survivors, it's a type of release scope we like to see for the whole cast, especially new ones who have joined the fog. We are looking forward to increase this output capacity in our outfits, and we will happy to share more as we progress. Honestly, I'm happy about this that they're saying this, because I do know that many characters really get, like, some don't get as many skins as they like, and some in particular, Fane, but get a lot more skins than others. And it's kind of crazy for the fact that like, jokes aside though, like, I mean, I really think that a lot of these characters, including, like, for example, Hattie, deserves to have more skins at least. So at least there'll be a lot more people that will have more skins now, a little bit more, and we can see this variety. And now with the idea of what they're doing for it to kind of increase, expanded their production capacity now for the number of cosmetics they can produce for each update, this will hopefully make it easier that they can add more to it and not just disappoint us with quality, while still maintaining quantity and variety, and then give more survivors and maybe even killers more skins. So many of your favorite characters, such as Jeff Johansson or Adam Francis or Meg, Dwight, Jake, vein, even though I've already mentioned how much skins he has. But still, for example, right there, Serena, Eugene Lee, Yubi, Patty, all these guys can at least still get a fair share amount of skins they can have right here. So hopefully this will be very nice indeed, so you guys get some ones. Let me know what you guys want to see down the line in the future for a skin for your favorite survivor or even killer. Definitely let me know. I like to find out about that for sure. Moving on, next is, of course, now them small mentioning about the update on cheating. So what they say here is that wrapping things up, we have a quick update to our ongoing plan to combat cheating. Not only have we continued to detect and patch out various cheats since our last update, but we also expanded our team. We also recently welcomed a new team lead to our growing security team who will help coordinate our efforts moving forward. This is great to hear. For me, who's a streamer, despite the fact that I do stream a lot of DBD from time to time, I am not big enough to actually get a lot of hackers or cheaters too often. I rarely get that. There's only one time I ever encountered like a cheater, and it was off stream by someone when I was playing Trickster. That was much earlier, before eventually all this stuff was announced. But I still see a lot of these things happen a lot for a lot of content creators and streamers, especially the most. And hopefully, as these changes go by, this will help improve better. I have not heard anything about hackers and cheats, by my knowledge so far, from these content creators and streamers we all know, by my knowledge. But at least so far, it seems like it's calming down a little bit. There probably is still some cheating and hacking a lot in the game right now, but there is still at least now a chance that we're going to be hopefully getting it all cleared up for sure. And the games will be smooth sailing from there very much, because obviously, based on that, they're now really escalating that even further. And the fact that now they are doing also for the fact that they are adding a new team lead to it to help make it more better and growing ever so often. So this is great. I'm happy by this. Very excited by this indeed. So looking forward to it, to seeing more further things they'll do to help improve the quality of the game so that no cheating can happen. Everyone can have a fun time. So hopefully so. Finally, they finish off with that. We once again reached the end of the developer update. Most of the changes we talked about today will be available during the PTB starting next week. So obviously around this week right now, as of today right now, we should be seeing the PTB happen very soon. So keep your eyes peeled around this week or so right now from today. And maybe we'll see what will happen when the PTB gets announced. As always, we will be keeping a watchful eye for your feedback once you had a chance to try them out. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. So I would say there's definitely a lot of good changes to this for sure. I am pretty excited by a lot of stuff. Probably the most commonly ones I am really much excited for is obviously them helping out with more of the skins. We're seeing obviously the examples of some perk changes happening, the bot loads improvements, the map repeat prevention was pretty nice right there. The nice cool quality visual update to Red Forest is pretty cool. And also obviously the fact that we're also going to be seeing obviously an update more on cheating, seeing that it's going well. So that's pretty nice, and seeing more improvements to it. So I think DBD is definitely getting a little bit better for sure so far, slowly, bit by bit. There's still some things that need to be worked on for sure, and problems a lot. But either way, it's nice that we're seeing some of this small stuff one step at a time at least. So that's pretty good, at least so far right now. Very fantastic. I'm really excited for the future indeed. And I'm looking forward to see what they're going to be there for us in the near future. Now it's time for the big deal right now. We're going to go over a look at, and that is the teaser trailer that was just released during that today as well. During that day right there when they released the patch notes right there for sure. And that's going to be the cool teaser for chapter 27. So here, take a look first, and I'll talk to you guys in just a moment. So what do you guys think? That was pretty cool, right? I think it was pretty neat. I thought it was a pretty cool reveal little trailer right there. So I want to kind of go over it and kind of give a good description of what we're seeing so far in this trailer, and kind of give a better idea on everything right now. So let's go and dive into it, and I'll go ahead and explain everything along the way, of course. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so here's the trailer right now. Once again, we're gonna go ahead and go into it again. I muted it just so we can at least kind of focus about any audio points, so we can kind of get a good look of everything and just see the details of what we can expect from this trailer right here for the next chapter 27, that being called the Tools of Torment. As we can see right here, if we reverse and kind of get a good look of it at this point right here, so we can see starting off right now, we get a first reveal of what appears to be, it looks like a table of some sorts with basically a kind of a workbench and some kind of, I guess, like a scientist lab, maybe a garage or something like that. We could see someone having their own cord and wires, stuff like that, plugging stuff right here. The most important key factor I want to focus on is the fact that you can see this paper notes and papers right here. We do see some more notes right here on something which we can't unfortunately make out, but we see what appears to be, obviously, in the trailer, like we saw before, the skull, which appears to be some wires and stuff like going through it, some mechanical machinery. There's also this machine right here, which I don't know what this could be. It looks like it could be maybe an important part that might make up this robotic creature as what it is. It could be like a heart or maybe a special computerized brain for it. We also do get a good look at this name right here, which I can't really make out at first if we must be full screen a little more. But it looks like there's an A right there. It seems like it's some kind of name. It looks like an A, and that might be a D. It looks like Adiana or Adrina or something like that. And the last name looks like an I think an L, I believe. I'm not big on cursor right, so pardon me on that. But this looks like the name, I guess, what appears to be the survivor we might be getting from this. This might be some person, might be I don't know, maybe it could be. It sounds like, if I'm right about the name, it might sound like a female name right there. So it might be a female survivor coming along with this. Maybe it's a female scientist who maybe is working on some kind of robot for her experiment. And I guess probably this robot goes completely out of totally wrong in some way. And it causes a complete chaotic, I guess, spree for her until eventually them both being brought into the fog right there. Moving on with this, we can see some paper clips, some tools right now. We can also see some parts at the moment. I think this looks like the same part we saw earlier on the blueprint by the looks of it, because it has like this nice circular structure with these little wire, like these little weird little plier like stuff right there, claw like things on the end, and some stuff. And if we look back at that again, we went too far right there, my bad. Let's see, let's go ahead and go back. Yeah, you can see it has similar right there like that in some ways. I almost probably just didn't have the plier situation. We can also see some of what appears to be some document files in this black with reddish design. It has a logo. I don't know what this could mean, unless it maybe is a company level logo. She might be working for a company, or maybe she owns a company for scientists who probably study and work on technology and lever electronics, and probably works on inventing a lot of new stuff, and this is probably what she's inventing or whatever. But at least that's what I'm theorizing right now for the survivor itself in question. We see a blueprint right here with also a keyboard right here. So there's a computer right around this corner with some tools. It looks like it appears to be, I think, more related parts that has like a weird like oval like structure, circular sphere, like, which could be like the brain, the head, or something like that, which has got me pretty intrigued by that. There's also another part over here which I can't make out, but actually if I look closely, I think it looks like it has like some wires right there too as well, and some other metal stuff. It could be like something like where probably they'll keep the head in place, which is why I might need to be over here, but I guess maybe it's over here right now while she was studying and working on stuff. And then we get over to this right here, and we see, of course, more tools, stuff like that, wires. We see the wires that connect to this bad boy right here we're looking at right now. So it's a skull, what appears to be on some like more wires down below. It's got more connected wires around each other. You can see what appears to be a head strap on it, probably kind of keep it suitable in place. We can see what appears to be some more wires going through the skull, and we can see some kind of two devices, one thing in its mouth, and then one looks like in its eye that has some kind of computerized eye in some way, because it has like two red dots right here and some more related cool little coloring right here and some stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see where that kind of goes for. But then we start seeing it now start glowing and reacting to the last bit. It freaks out, and then it reacts like that. As you can see, it comes to life, and we see the light of the eyes and the mouth start glowing. So it looks like it's coming to life. And we hear like a shock freak out. Like, I guess maybe the scientist in question, the survivor, freaks out about their greatest invention right here. And then we get a good look at the title, Tools of Torment. And they said we will learn about this on February 15th. So February 15th, we will expect to see a full-on maybe gameplay trailer and some more news about this trailer, and kind of get an idea of what we're going to expect with this new killer. So obviously, for the idea of the title, everyone is saying what it is, and what it's possibly going to be theorized about is that it's going to be a robot killer, some kind of cybernetic robot killer, basically. And I got my guess, if I'm correct as well with that reason, and everyone else knows is correct, that the survivor will most likely be some kind of inventor, a scientist, basically, because we saw that name right there on that, and I think it said Adrina or something, Adriana or something like that, a female. It could have been a female right there's name right there. I couldn't make out. It's kind of hard to see, and also the cursor writing I'm not good at, so maybe someone can let me know in the comments below to give me a better idea. But it does look like we might be having a scientist, an inventor, getting involved in the realm of the fog with her own creation, or his own creation, whoever it is. and it looks like it's gonna be like a robot killer. But although it's very interesting though, because if it's a robot killer, it's very interesting with the skull in question getting the cybernetics, unless of course the scientist in question, the inventor, is maybe trying to use someone's dead corpse to be as an idea to bring back to life. Maybe she's bringing someone she cared about the most or loved one. This whole style of like bring someone back from the dead to life in some form could be some kind of twisted way she's doing it and it ends up backfiring her and this happens. I'm thinking about that in sort of way. That's my theory on it. But it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited by this, and I'm looking forward to see on February 15th what they got in store for the Tools Tournament. That's got me pretty intrigued because I always wanted to see a type of robotic cybernetic killer right there. And obviously I can think of like for license it'd be like the Terminator, and a lot of people I've seen on Twitter were going crazy about saying like, oh, Terminator. It's pretty crazy, but honestly it's hilarious though. But obviously I noticed going to be an original chapter. This is definitely an original chapter for sure, but I think this is going to be pretty exciting though, because again, it's a robotic cybernetic killer, which we have not seen someone like that before. Most of the time we're like typical, some kind of cool classic monsters from movies and games, and usually sometimes killers and thrashers and other related mythical beasts like the boogeyman, some way from the Dredge. They're just kind of like the boogeyman basically. And obviously the knight is a knight. Obviously we all know that for sure. So obviously with this, it's gonna be a unique one because it's not even gonna be like a living organism kind of killer. It's a person, or that's in the mind. My guess is, I'm theorizing, it's gonna be a person who's dead now in the mind of a robot, and it's gonna be corrupt or something like that. Because I mean, again though, the skull that could have been belonged to someone else if you think about it. I mean, it's possible. So who knows? I mean, theories right here, but I have a good feeling this is gonna be a pretty fun chapter. I hope so, because I actually wanted to see a robot killer down the line, and now we're probably gonna get something like that. So pretty excited by that. Pretty excited by that indeed. But anyway, with that comes to the end of this video. What do you guys think about so far about the cool February little patch note update right there from the developers, and even also the teaser trailer right there we got for chapter 27? Are you guys excited for the new chapter? Are you guys excited for all these different cool developer update little stuff that are coming up? Are you excited for seeing what they got in store for us in the near future? Let me know in the comment section below. Definitely let me know for sure. I appreciate everyone for stopping by and enjoying this awesome, fun little video right here, and I'm really excited to see what they got, especially on February 15, which will be pretty much in from today. Right now it's the 12th, so about 3 days right now. So it's gonna be pretty exciting right now to see what they got in store. I'm looking forward to see what this killer is like, and whoever this new survivor is, because I'm still theorizing it's because based on that name we saw that on the file right there. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see who this individual is and what they were up to about this robot in question, because I feel like it's gonna be something very spooky in some way. So we'll see what happens, but we have 3 days until then, so you have to keep an eye out here on the channel. I'll be probably doing a video on that down the line, give my reaction to that very much for sure, and give my thoughts on it, so keep an eye out for sure. With that being said, guys, thank you everyone for joining in for this awesome video. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your time. Keep on partying, and I will see you guys next time here at the pizza party. Goodbye, my friends.